for tuning in on time. My name is Georgi, and today our topic of our subject webinar. So just as a reminder, the subject webinar is the webinar where you have opportunity to ask directly your questions to the representatives of the study programs in Germany, which is a great opportunity. If you would like to do that, you can see the Q&A button. It is just next to the chat button in the bottom part of your Zoom interface. You can already use it. It is already open. It will be open until the very end of the webinar, so for around next 1 hour and so. And then, your questions will be answered either in the written form or live by one of our guests. Also, you can keep an eye on the chat because there we might send some interesting information for you. And as I said, my name is Georgi. I will be the co-host / co-moderator of today's webinar. And as you can see, I'm not alone today. So we have guests from 3 German universities and who will introduce to you 3 different study programs. We will start with Technische Universität Braunschweig, and we have Christa Hellert, and she will introduce to you study program Bachelor of Science in Sustainable Engineering of Products and Processes. Then we'll move to Hochschule Ravensburg-Weingarten, and we have Professor Dr. Ralf Stetter, and he will also talk about Bachelor of Science level program, but in mechatronics. And we will close the show with Technische Hochschule Rosenheim. We have Florian Thoma with us today, and he will also talk about bachelor level program, but in International Bachelor of Engineering. So today is a bachelor day. So, and you can ask your questions in this direction, or maybe also looking forward to your master studies in case you would also have any question in that regard to our guests, of course. So very briefly, who is behind today's webinar? So it is my German university. If you have not heard about us, so I would say that whenever you are trying to find English taught study programs in Germany, our name will pop up there definitely. We have over 2,700 degree programs in our database of English taught study programs. We have, of course, bachelor level programs, master's level programs. Also, you can see separated MBA, LLM programs as well. And our main goal is to help international students who would like to pursue a degree in Germany. And we do this through 3 key ways. One of them is exactly our study finder, which has a lot of filters. You cannot see all filters right now on your screens, but when you go to our website, you will be able to see all of the filters, which will, for example, finding programs according to the mode of admission or mode of application, according to the level of English knowledge, for example. It can go so deep in also. And this will make your search for the program much more time efficient, I would say, and on to the point. The second way of helping you is through writing various articles regarding studying in Germany. Of course, we have over 150 comprehensive articles right now at this point on different topics. APS certificate, locked account, online studies, letter of motivation writing, fees and costs, Studienkolleg, etc., etc. By the way, this topic might be also important for you given the scale and scope today. We have also various webinars, approximately 150 webinars per year organized, also on different topics. As I told you, we have subject webinars where you meet representatives of German universities directly and directly ask them their questions and get the answers from them. Also, we have general webinars like UniAssist or Visa on scholarships. And by the way, during this subject webinars, we of course have these subject webinars on different topics. It can be studying mechanical engineering in Germany, it can be studying physics in Germany, political science, philosophy, and so on and so forth. All of the webinars that are already planned, you can find them in our webinar section, and you can sign up for these webinars for free and of course attend them for free. Our team is based in northern Germany, in Hamburg, but we are also based in different parts of Germany and different parts of the world. That's why we are counseling also in different languages. So if you are interested in German taught study programs in the direction of mechanical engineering, let's say, I would also suggest you to check out Hochschulkompass. There you might find some interesting programs in this direction. But if you are more into English taught study programs or mostly English taught study programs, I would suggest you to check out our study finder, and you can see that we have filtered it now for only bachelor's programs today, as we are talking about bachelor's programs. And you can see that most of the programs are in English only. English only means that in most of the, you don't need any German to get into those programs, and in most cases also to successfully complete them, which is a very nice opportunity for internationals who are not that good with German yet. So if you would like to also understand like a take a step back and take a look from as a bigger picture, to see a bigger picture of when it comes to studying mechanical engineering in Germany. What does it mean? For example, what are the rankings of universities offering for example, studies in this direction? What are the tuition fee ranges that you should expect and you should budget for? Or what are the requirements that you should be aware of? General ones. Then we also have subject pages for each and every subject. And there you can find this general information. And it is quite a nice first step for those who are not that much aware of what does it mean to study, for example, in this case, mechanical engineering in Germany. Yeah, so our tip is that when you are trying to find a fitting university profile, fitting study program, you shouldn't be guided by sole aspects only, for example, choosing programs only based on fees or only based on their locations or based on rankings. Yeah, I mean, they are important for some people more than for others, but you should combine them ideally, all of these aspects together, and go further also, take into account your interests, your background, your professional aspirations, and only by doing that you'll be able to significantly increase the chances of making an informed and right decision when choosing the right study program and university. And I think this is one of the most crucial steps towards your future career. And going to close my presentation very soon now, I would like to underline that in Germany there are two key types of universities that you should be aware of, and today both of them are represented actually here. One is called Universität type of university, or in English just university, and another one in English it's known as University of Applied Sciences, and in German it has some variation in namings. For example, it can be called Hochschule, Fachhochschule, etc. So the key difference between these two types of institutions is in focus, I would say. In general, when it comes to Universität type of university, the focus tends to be more onto research and theory. And in case of University of Applied Sciences, we are more talking about application and practice. But of course, there can be some exceptions where, for example, in Universität type of university program, also it's very much focused on practice, and vice versa. So yeah, in addition to the aspects that I mentioned before that you should ideally take into account while finding the right program for you, also when you're using our study finder when searching for the programs, I would also suggest you to be flexible with filters and wordings. Don't be too strict and rigid. By doing that, you'll be able once again to drastically increase your chances of making an informed decision when choosing the right study program for you. So that being said, let me now move to Technische Universität Braunschweig, to Christa Hellert, and she will now introduce to you Bachelor of Science level program in Sustainable Engineering of Products and Processes, and you can also see the map on the right side and where potentially your future university might be located at. So let me stop the screen share and invite Christa to take the floor.
Thank you very much, Georgi, for the introduction, and welcome to today's presentation of sustainable engineering. Let me start the screen sharing. And let me know if you cannot see it.
We can see it. All good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. So welcome to today's presentation of our bachelor's program Sustainable Engineering at Technische Universität Braunschweig. My name is Christa, and I'm one of the course coordinators at the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering here in Braunschweig. Before I talk more about the program, let me quickly introduce the city of Braunschweig to you and where it's located at. As Georgi already showed you on the map just now, we are in the northern part of Germany, roughly between Hanover and Berlin. Also, the international airport of Frankfurt is about a 3-hour train ride away, and you can see further in the north, Bremen and Hamburg. You can also go there for a day trip if you're interested. If we zoom in a bit further, you see Braunschweig again right here. And to our south, we have the so-called Harz Mountains, where you can do lots of outdoor activities in winter and in the summertime. So depending whether you're into cross-country skiing, hiking, biking, you can do lots of activities there. And then in the north, we have Wolfsburg, which you might know because it's Volkswagen headquarters, very close to Braunschweig and in the area. Again, zooming in a bit closer, you can see an aerial shot and you can see the old city center right here, surrounded by the River Oka and lots of green. The city center is here in the middle, and our main campus is right here, so you can walk or bike into the city within a few minutes. And overall, Braunschweig is a city where you can bike pretty much anywhere within, I would say, 20 minutes. We're a medium-sized city of about 250,000 inhabitants, and you do not need a car to get around, because you also have free public transport as a student, which I find very convenient. To have a few images of the city right here in the middle, this is in the city center, the old castle and the old cathedral with our symbol, the lion, right in the middle. Just below, you see our theater, and in the left corner here below, you see one of the more modern buildings, the so-called Ritzy House. And then you also see two images of the outside park areas. Here we have the River Oka, where you can do paddling and canoeing in the summer. And then we have here one of the larger parks right just outside the city. And here is here's the old palace, which has been rebuilt after it's been destroyed in World War II, and it now houses the archives and the library. There are also a few images of our university. On the top left, we have the House of Science, which also houses the Student Service Center. We have the same image in the right bottom corner at night with a light installation, and just above it, one of our research centers at the research airport. And down here, where it's very colorful, you see the welcome speech of our president for all first semester students in the stadium of the city. Braunschweig is also one of the most active research regions here in Europe. If you look at the level of spending on research and development and compare that within Europe, you see that Braunschweig has the second highest level of spending. And there's also Stuttgart and Tübingen, so they're all in Germany, and Braunschweig the second among them. That is also because we have lots of research in the area. So we have the German Aerospace Center, which is located right in Braunschweig, and members of this research center are also professors at our faculty. So if you choose to do aeronautic, mechanical engineering, then they might be your professors. We also have the National Center of Metrology, where the atomic clock sits. We have the Center of Infectious Diseases. We have the Fraunhofer Institute. So many institutions that do a lot of research, and we're very well connected with them. We're also a member of the TU9, the 9 leading technical universities in Germany. Overall, we are a university of about 16,800 students with 86 degree programs, and they divide up into 6 faculties, and the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering is is the largest one. Right here, you see the old main building where I'm sitting at the moment at the main campus. Besides our programs, our study programs, the university offers a large language center, a sports center. We have lots of clubs and initiatives here, depending whether you like music, arts, or anything else. There's lots of things going on. We have a green office where students organize lots of things to make the university more sustainable. We have counseling services if needed. We have mentoring programs to support German and international students at the university. And especially for international students, we have the International Student Support. They organize the Welcome Week at the beginning of your studies. They have support programs in place for international students, and they also organize events and excursions throughout the semester if you're interested in getting to know the area and getting to know each other. So many things to do besides studying. We have about 20% of international students at our university. We have the Erasmus Plus program, an exchange program within Europe, but also exchange programs with universities around the world, and also strategic partnerships with universities around the world. So in academia and in research as well. That's why we also wanted to establish a bachelor's program that is also international. I'll talk about that in a second. And you might know that the UN identified 17 sustainable development goals to be reached. I think it was 2030, which they wanted to reach. And as we know, there are still a lot of challenges to meet these goals. And just to name a few of them, we do have the climate change, we have inequalities within one country, but also in between countries. We have limited resources that we can use. And overall, it is still a challenge to make the world a good place for all of us. And there are many ways to tackle these problems. And we believe that if you're into engineering or mechanical engineering, then this can be part of the solution. That means we need to opt for global solutions. We need to opt for systems, products, and processes that are sustainable. And we need to not only take environmental sustainability into consideration, but also look at economic and social sustainability. And then we think that mechanical engineering can be part of the solution. That's why we created a program that is bilingual, because we wanted it to be international. So you have classes in English and in German. Especially in the first semesters, your foundation modules will be either in one or the other language, and you can choose which one you want to take. This is a program of mechanical engineering, so therefore you get a very good education in mechanical engineering with emphasis on the aspect of sustainability. Therefore, at the end, you will get a Bachelor of Science. The program is designed for 6 semesters and 180 credit points, and it starts in October. That is the winter semester. I'll talk a bit more about language at the end, just so that you know language classes are available in German, but also in English or other languages. And there are mentoring programs to support new students, international and German. This is what the program looks like. The light green bottom box are the foundation modules, the compulsory modules that everyone needs to take, divided up into 4 areas. The first one is sustainability. So for example, you take a look into energy systems. Then the fundamentals of engineering, everyone needs to know, for example, thermodynamics or engineering mechanics. Engineering applications talks, for example, about material science. And then you need to have math, so the fundamentals of mathematical science and IT. So there's a bit of programming there as well. And once you've completed those, you go into your specialization. You start your specialization in about the 3rd to 4th semester, so in your 2nd year. And you choose whether you want to look more into sustainable mobility, sustainable energy and process engineering, or sustainable production. The so-called integrated module contains pretty much anything that you're interested in outside the regular curriculum. So that might be language classes you want to take or you need to take. That might be anything regarding soft skills or something from a different curriculum, biology, history, things like that. To gain some more practical experience, you will have an internship of 10 weeks. And then in the end, you complete your degree by writing your bachelor thesis. To look a bit more into your specialization areas that you can choose from, if you're interested in learning about ways of how to design and produce more sustainably, then you might want to take sustainable production. Here we look at a more life cycle oriented approach where you learn not only about how products can run sustainably, but also how they are produced in the beginning and how that is sustainable or can be designed sustainably, and also how they are reused or recycled at the end. If you're interested about sustainable ways of energy conversion for our supply of electricity or heat, or sustainable ways of material conversion, so for example, how to produce toothpaste, medications, things like that, then you might want to look into sustainable energy and process engineering, because here you look at new approaches that combine economic and ecological benefits. So it's not only about the money, but also the ecological costs of the productions. Or maybe you're more interested into the mobility aspect of our society. And in the specialization area of sustainable mobility, you look at automotive and aerospace engineering. So you learn more about sustainable mobility concepts. I already mentioned that we have the German Aerospace Center here. We have a research airport right here in Braunschweig, where the institutes that teach aerospace engineering are located at. We also have Volkswagen in the area, we have Siemens Railways, and we also have an excellence cluster right here that does research on sustainable aviation. A few words about the application process. The admission is non-restricted. That means there is no ranking depending on your grades, but you need to fulfill some requirements. The first one is the same for any university. You have to have a German university entrance qualification, because this is a bilingual program. You need to meet the language requirements for German and for English. For German, it needs to be DSH1 or test stuff level 3. If you are not at that level yet, you can still enroll if you can prove level A2 at the time of your enrollment. However, you then need to take German classes and make sure that you complete that test by the end of the 3rd semester. I strongly recommend to start with a level of B1 so that you have enough time to come up to that level. And then in English, it depends if your mother tongue is English, whether your language of instruction at school was English, or whether you take an English test such as TOEFL or IELTS or any equivalent. You will find more tests on our website. And then there's a pre-internship of 8 weeks. Again, details are on our website, what this needs to contain. But again, if you can only complete part of it, you can defer it until the end of the 4th semester if needed. But remember, there's another internship of 10 weeks coming up. So the more you complete, the better. The deadlines to apply for the winter semester are July 15th or October 15th. That is only for EU citizens. So make sure you know which category you fall into, not to miss the deadline. And then we don't have Uni Assist or similar, so the registration or application goes right through the university's application website. If your school or university qualifications still need to be assessed, and that will be a fee of 75 euros. Otherwise, the program is tuition free. And as with all German universities, you will have a semester contribution, which is approximately 370 euros per semester, so every 6 months, which gives you subsidized meals, lots of services around here, free public transportation, and things like that. And overall, Braunschweig is rather affordable compared to other cities in Germany. And the International House estimated the costs of living at approximately 940 euros a month. But again, that depends on your personal standard of living. It can be more, it can be less. If you're interested in other financial aids or scholarship options, then we do have a website, Financing Your Studies. Please check it out if you're interested in that. I do hope that we can answer all your questions today, and I can answer all your questions today, but if anything comes up later, then please get in contact. I think email would probably be best, and then we will be able to answer all your questions. And for now, thank you for your attention, and I hope to be able to welcome you here in Braunschweig. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Krista, as always. Very nice presentation. And with that being said, let us move now to another guest, to Ravensburg-Weingarten University of Applied Sciences, and we will talk about Bachelor of Science level program in mechatronics. Not we, but Professor Stetter will talk about it. And you can see also where it's located. We are now in the very, very south of Germany. So, Professor, please take the floor.
Okay, Jörg, thank you very much. I hope you all should see my presentation now,
Yes, we do.
which is titled Rooted in the Region, as you have shown, we are in the very south of Germany and open to the world. So again, a brief glance where we are. So we are close to Austria, close to Switzerland, so right in the heart of Germany, and in the not in the heart, in the middle of Europe, and University of Applied Science. And you already got some initial information what the specific scope of such a university is. So we are a smaller university, but this has a lot of advantages, which I will tell you a bit later in this presentation. We have 3,700 students, 100 professors, and 31 study programs, mainly focusing on engineering, IT, and business, but we also have social work and healthcare, so a rather broad scope. So what are the study programs in English that we offer? Very new is our preparatory semester, Take-Off RWU. So it's 6 months, it's German courses, math, physics, programming courses, it's an intercultural module. You have networking with regional companies, and you can already acquire first ECTS for the final study program. So it's for people who want to know, oh, what should I study? How should I study? Is the right thing? So that can give you orientation. But you can also directly enroll in our bachelor programs. The bachelor programs that we offer is electrical engineering and information technology, e-mobility and green energy, mechanical engineering, the international project engineering, and the one that I will focus mainly about, mechatronics. On this, there's also a master program, Master of Science program in mechatronics, and another master in English language, electrical engineering, and embedded systems. And also in the state of Baden-Württemberg, in the south of Germany, as a University of Applied Science, we have now also the possibility, together with other universities, to have a doctoral program. So the Bachelor of Engineering Mechatronics is something special because it's not only in one faculty of our university, but in 3 faculties. So on top, you see myself, Ralf Stetter. I'm in the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, and I teach there design and development in automotive technology. I also have been in industry. I was in the Audi motor company there in the development of seating systems. So I'm an engineer who has practiced in industry. The same for my colleague, Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥 in technology management. He's a specialist in machine vision, optics in 3D technologies, and another colleague in electrical engineering and computer science, Professor Benedikt Reich. So he is specialist in electrical engineering, computer science, automotive engineering, and electromobility, has himself worked in a company close to here, the ZF, that is developing systems for electrical cars. So we came together as 3 faculties to generate a new program, which will start next year, a bachelor full-time, completely in English and mechatronics. So it's for persons that want to develop and improve mechatronic products in an international environment. You should aim at combining a well-founded German education engineering with current knowledge concerning mechatronic systems and the technology. So what we want to do here, it's a fusion. It's a fusion of the discipline computer science, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering. It's a very forward-looking future program. And you will learn interdisciplinary network thinking and acting, which will enable the creation of innovative products. So at a glance, how long is the period of studies? It's 7 semesters. We aim at 210 European transfer credits. The admission requirements is higher education, entrance qualification. There can be prep courses for student colleague, or also an online assessment if their higher education entrance qualification is in question. And English certificates, so you need TOEFL or ELTS. Nothing in the beginning, no proficiency in German is necessary. The final degree will be Bachelor of Engineering, and the date starting closing day. So for summer term, we will start, and you should apply. That's a bit wrong right now. It will be 15th of November. Sorry about this. That was a takeover mistake. We have nearby dormitories and leisure activities in the attractive landscape of Upper Swabia. I'm happy to show you some pictures of this later on. You have good boundary conditions, very good conditions for fun and success in study and work, because we are a region with very low unemployment. So many high-tech companies are here, but I will tell you a bit more later. What is the main thing about studying mechatronics? Well, it's the columns that you can see here in different colors. We have mathematics and physics, but then we have a mechanical column, we have a computer science column, electronic columns, but also then we have lots of modules which are really mechatronics. So mechatronics basics, then metrology and lab, sensors, electrical drives. So all of the things that make up the mechatronics. What you also see is that we have sustainability, which is very important for our future life on all of the planets. So there are also 2 sustainability modules. And you also see that we have a practical semester internship, which is compulsory and which will take place at a company usually close to us. It can take place internationally, but there are very interesting companies close to us where you can have this internship and where we are in close contact. That's why you see also in the center of the 5th semester, there will be a German class. You will get to the German B2 for this internship. But it's all lectures that are given are in English language. So you don't need to go through an exam in German language. Everything is in English, but you have to learn German in order to be able to have this internship in a high-tech company in this region. So this is the main things that we have here. One additional information that I would like to give you briefly, if you're not sure, is it mechatronics or is it rather more mechanical engineering, closer to mechanical engineering? We have also what's called a study variant of our mechanical engineering program. It's called International Project Engineering. It's stronger on the production technology base with a special focus on what we call Industry 4.0, which mainly means digitalization, with a broad knowledge of mechanical engineering, specialized knowledge concerning manufacturing and assembly, as well as automation technology. And there's the basis also on business knowledge. So if you're interested in this, in mechatronics, you already have 3 columns. So there's not this emphasis, and both are frequently demanded job description. So for you, it's up to what you want to do, what you want to study. So what is the specific environment at our university in the very south of Germany? Well, we call it small, smart, and safe. So you are in a small city, Weingarten. You can reach everything on campus on foot. You have 1 campus short distances. You have excellent support ratio because you have 1 professor per each 37 students. And we have a close cross-faculty cooperation, which you may already see because this Bachelor of Mechatronics program, we do together colleagues from 3 faculties. Also, what's very important for us is the hands-on approach to teaching. That's specifically for University of Applied Science and even more specifically for our university. So here you see a colleague who will also work in this program, Andre Kaufmann. This colleague was developing turbocharger at Continental, and here he explained in our laboratories, which are really well equipped, and he explains certain things of a car suspensions. So you have professors with work experience in the fields of expertise. We all have at least 3 years in industry. We also have lecturers from the nearby industries and these well-equipped laboratories, which are specifically for the universities of applied sciences. And in our region, we have many internationally operating firms. So we have ZF, Zahnradfabrik Friedrichshafen, very nearby, also Rolls-Royce Power Systems, but very close are also companies such as Airbus, Hilti, Leica, and then if we go a bit north to Stuttgart, there's Mercedes-Benz, there's Porsche, there's Bosch, and if we go to Munich, there's BMW and Siemens, and close to Munich, Ingolstadt is Audi, also Neckarsulm. So a lot of industry which is internationally operating, and a lot of opportunities for your internship, and also later on direct job opportunities. Another thing which is interesting is the life at our university. So you see some examples. First, you see something on the upper left, which is our carnival, our Fastnet, which is very special. Then on the upper right, you see the Lake of Constance, so paradise for outdoor, for swimming. And you see the look from a bit south of our university over the Lake Constance, then already into Switzerland. We can also look from here into Austria. So everything is very close. And also you see on the lower right, there you see our famous church. You see the towers of Ravensburg, which is the next city, which can also be reached by bike, walking, or buses. So it's also really close. So what makes us different? What is the specific thing that Ravensburg-Weingart University can offer you if you decide to study here? Well, a quality education accredited in the well-established German university systems. We have a special culture. We have the Upper Swabian culture, which is very open to other nations. We have strong student communities, international student communities, for example, Indian Students' Council, but many more, so where people cooperate. We have people, you have the close connection to the professors because of this really good ratio that you have. You have a nice region, lots of outdoors. You can be quickly at the Lake Constance. You can be at the Alps for skiing, for other outdoor activities, and excellent job opportunities because there's a lot of companies located here which are operating internationally and are looking to replace the current workforce. So they are definitely in need of new people at their place. So thank you very much for your time and interest. I look also forward to the Q&A section, but thanks a lot for your interest, and well, I'm looking forward to the questions.
Great. Thank you very much, Professor, for your presentation and for all the details that you provided, very valuable ones. And yeah, so let us now move to our last speaker for today, and then we'll open the floor for the live Q&A session. But as you saw, dear attendees, you already got some of the answers in the written form already. So we are staying in the southern part of Germany, really, just going to the parallel to the right. And it's Rosenheim Technical University of Applied Sciences. Florian will now talk about International Bachelor of Engineering Study Program. So Florian, the floor is yours.
We just move a little bit more to the east, to Rosenheim, another technical university of applied sciences. And I will talk to you about the program that's called International Bachelor of Engineering. And this is a way for you to become an engineer in Germany without paying tuition fees. So first, let's take a look at our university. We are now a little bit older than 50 years, founded in the 70s. And as for now, we have 36 bachelor's degree programs that are offered at our university and 17 master's degree programs. The teaching is organized in faculties. We have 10 faculties at 4 different locations. For the program we look at today, it will be our main campus at Rosenheim and our second campus in Burghausen. We have 5 core areas of studies: business, technology, design, health, and social. But today we will take a look at the bachelor's degree in the technology studies. So I will make this one a bit shorter because we already talked about that. So University of Applied Sciences offers you a higher education institution with an equal status to regular research universities, but with a focus on natural sciences and engineering, since we are a technical university. So we look at the application of knowledge. So we want to bring it into practice. You have the integrated internship with companies that we work together with. You have rather small study groups, a structured study plan, and professors that come directly from the industry. And it's also very popular, not just for international students, but also for German students to study at the University of Applied Sciences. And what's very important, all degree programs are equivalent to regular degree at the university. So if you decide you want to do a master's at a different research university, you can just switch. So here are about 5 benefits to look forward to if you study at the University of Applied Sciences. First, we have an excellent professor to student ratio. We have many labs. That's very important to us, that you have top class labs with modern equipment. The learning is hands-on and you learn from experts. You don't have to pay tuition fees. And you have great salaries and a strong industry in the Greater Munich area where we are located. So let's take a look at our main campus in Rosenheim. Life here is really nice and peaceful. It's actually really lovely. You have the mountains, you have lakes, and a Mediterranean flair. Here you see a map. So this is the south of Germany. We are located between Munich and Salzburg. It takes 30 minutes to take the train to Munich. So it's really close to Munich. Of course, Munich has big automotive companies in its areas. BMW, Audi is close by, and many suppliers for that, but also a strong IT sector with Google, Apple, all operating in Munich, and many suppliers for those industries that are in the greater area around Munich. And Rosenheim is home to more than 60,000 residents that live there. And it's a really nice place. In the summer, you can reach everything by bike. It has many lakes, small lakes, bigger lakes around. Really lovely. We have collected some pictures for you here. So it's a nice area to live in all seasons of the year, for winter, in the summer, and also hiking near the mountains in the Alps in spring and in autumn. Taking a look at our second campus that's located in Burghausen. Burghausen is also called Chem Delta Bavaria. Around 20,000 people live in Burghausen, but also 20,000 people from the chemical sector and the petroleum sector come to work there. So 50% of the Bavarian chemical workforce is actually located in Burghausen. Burghausen is also in the south of Germany, around 1.5 hours away from Rosenheim if you take the train. And it has many big companies, the biggest one being Wacker, which alone has more than 8,000 employees directly working there. And another fun fact, it's called Burghausen. Burg means castle. It's also home to the largest castle in the world, which you can see on this picture. And the place where this picture was taken is already Austria. So it's also very, very close to Austria. It's just separated by a lake. Now, this is also very important. One of the first questions we usually get, the cost of living. So you can either go into a student dorm, both in Burghausen, there are options, and also in Rosenheim. Of course, there's also private accommodations. And if it all sums up, like meals, the health insurance, other insurances, other personal expenses for, let's say, traveling, getting around, student life, we tell students to expect a budget of 800 to 1,150, 1,200 euros per month. So I think 1,000 euros you should at least calculate per month, but we compensate that by offering all the studies without paying tuition fees. Now let's look at the degree program, and it's really a fun program. I've been working on it with the faculties, and it's a program especially for international students who want to study engineering topics in Germany, but also want to work in Germany after that, and therefore also want to learn the German language. So what we came up with is a model where you can learn engineering subjects and learn German at the same time. We will start with some quick facts. So the program always starts in the summer semester in the middle of March. Actually, today was the first day. We have now 30 students here and 20 more who are willing to come in the next few weeks and months. So it's a nice mixed group that just started. You will get a Bachelor of Engineering degree. You can choose 1 out of 10 engineering specializations, and you can study this program either in Rosenheim or in Burghausen. And the scope is 8 semesters, so that's 4 years of studies, or 240 credit points that you will earn during your studies. The benefits are you have integrated German language courses to start your career in Germany. You have a joint common first semester that you study all together. This gives you more flexibility, and you have more time to pick your specialization. So you don't have to pick a specialization before you start up front, but you can do it after the start of studies. And we teamed up with industry partners in the region to support you during your studies. So now if we take a look at the specialization, so in Rosenheim, we cover, I would say, the more specializations: electrical engineering, information technology, energy and building technology, engineering and management, sometimes also referred to as industrial engineering, mechanical engineering, mechatronics, medical technology, and plastics engineering. And if you go for your studies in Burghausen, it's more the chemical sector. So that's chemical engineering, environmental technology, and process automation technology. And here's the basic course structure. So as you can see, you will study the first 3 semesters in English when it comes to the engineering topics, but we have included German language modules in each of your semesters. So you will start with an A2 level, and we will bring you to a B2 C1 level after the 3rd semester. So you can then continue your studies along with the German students and continue the studies in your picked engineering specialization. And you will also have a whole practical semester that you spent working in an industry. You can do that in Germany, but you can, of course, also do it abroad and do an international practical semester. Now, to make it a little more concrete, here's the study plan for mechanical engineering. So as you can see here, you will start with engineering fundamentals, math is included, physics, electrical engineering, also the German language classes. And then when you move into your specialization, you will specialize in this case in mechanical engineering with many different modules to pick. So there's also the flexibility to specialize at the end of the studies. You have the 6th semester working in a company, that's your internship, and then you finish with a bachelor's thesis in the 8th semester. Here are some of the industry partners that we work with. In fact, it's way more. I think it's around 50 industry partners now that we work with. So those offer you internships, they do company visits, they are dual study options. You can also be a working student at those companies and write your bachelor's thesis. So they also want to support, especially international students, also with financing the studies and getting some work. So here, Wacker is one of the biggest companies in Burghausen, also in Finjen, a chip supplier in the Munich area, BASF, 𝘱𝘢𝘕, many big suppliers in this region, very popular with engineers. And now let's take a look at the admission requirements. So we work with UniAssist. So you need a so-called VPD, preliminary review documentation. This will be issued by UniAssist, but we don't have a GPA. So there's no further restriction on the admission there. And you need an English language certificate for the B2 level. All the most common ones are accepted: TOEFL, TOEIC, IELTS, Cambridge, TALC, Pearson, and there are also more that you can find on our website. And you will also need a German language certificate on the A2 level. So again, all the common ones are accepted: DSD, Goethe certificate, TALC, ÖSD, the Austrian certificate, DSH, and test stuff will be accepted, and even more that you can find on our website. So let's take a look at the dates to apply. So for UniAssist, you can apply any day of the year. The application is always open. And then when you want to apply for the degree program at our university, The application starts in November, so from the 1st of November until the middle of January. Usually it will be extended a little to give you some more time to collect all your documents, but that's the time frame that you should stick to. And then the summer semester will start in the middle of March and runs until the end of April. Then you have semester breaks, and the winter semester then starts in October and runs until the middle of February. Here's a general guideline for your application. So inform yourself about the degree program. In this case, International Bachelor of Engineering. We have information sheets provided for that. You can pre-check your educational certificates with the 𝘸𝘪𝘵 database on admission requirements. Before you apply to Uni Assist, that would be the next step. You upload your documents there. You can do it all online, so it's not so much paperwork. And then you should prepare your language certificates. And then when the application opens, apply with all of those documents collected directly at our university, and then you will receive your admission letter. So when you start studying at our university, of course, we will help you. There are many support services and welcome services for our international students. So we do have a welcome week. That's right now. We offer housing on campus, but there's also housing off campus, but Rosenheim is really small, so you can reach all by bike and by foot. We have student tutors who help the students in their modules. There are further German language courses and other language courses. We have social media and events to get the students together and help them socialize a little. And there's also a language and buddy program. If you want to learn German, you can help somebody else learning English or learning your mother's tongue. There are also career services that we offer. So of course, we have workshops and coaching to help you find your first job. We offer CV checks for your application, both in German and in English. And there are also many networking events that we do to help you get in touch with companies here in Germany. So we have an exclusive online job board for students. We do on-campus company fairs, and there are also company visits in each semester that we do to our industry partners. So to sum up, here are some reasons why you should come studying with us, so you don't have to pay tuition fees. We have integrated the German language courses into your studies, so you don't have to do that in your free time or on the weekends. It's really part of your studies. You are pretty flexible when it comes to picking a specialization. You can do that after the start of studies. First come, take a look, speak to other students, speak to the professors, take a look at the labs, and then make a decision. We have a very practical approach to everything, and we have a top-class industry network that is waiting for you. If you want to speak to some professors, I would invite you to our online info sessions. So usually either a professor from Burghausen or Rosenheim will be there and will be answering all of your academic questions that you may have for this program. If you want to connect with us, feel free to do that on Instagram. We also have Facebook, or just write us an email. Thank you for your attention.
Perfect. Thank you, Florian, for your presentation. And let's now dive into the Q&A. There are some questions also open yet, and still open. And thanks also, Krista and Professor Stetter, for taking your time to address the questions for you. That makes life, of course, easier. Florian, let me start with you, maybe, as you've just finished the fresh. So for Rosenheim, 2 questions. What are your average class sizes, and what is the maximum amount of spots you offer per semester? Thank you.
Maximum class sizes, we try to keep them at 20. So usually right now we have 30 students coming, so we have split the German language class into 2 classes. So we try to keep it at 20. And the second question was about sports.
Yeah, amount of spots per semester, maximum amount of spots.
Spots, as many as enroll. There's no restriction on that. Usually we end up, we've had 30 last year with the first batch of students. Now it's 60. I think it will be at around 60 for the future. Yes. Okay,
perfect. Thank you very much. And I think the same question was for Professor Stetter, also mentioned, and maybe Krista will ask you the same question regarding the amount of places that you have, whether it's limited, and what is the maximum amount of students that you might potentially accept for the given semester.
Okay, so for mechatronics, it's 60.
60.
We have 60 places per semester.
Great. And Krista?
For sustainable engineering at the moment, it's everyone who fulfills the requirements. So no restrictions at the moment.
Okay, great. So there I see another general question. Let me start with you now, Krista. Do program partners guarantee internships? Like, are there any spots reserved for cohort members?
For internships, because this is the same for all of our mechanical engineering students, there are websites where you can find them, but there is no guarantee. So you will have to look for them and find it independently.
Okay.
Right.
Here, thank you. Professor Stetter, what would you say?
We are right now in discussion with some companies, so there will be also some stipend programs, but right now also there's no real guarantee. But
Okay.
we are working on it.
Okay, perfect. And Florian?
Yeah, same with us. So we can help at each step of finding an internship, but the students have to do that actively by themselves.
Okay, great, thanks. What is that? So I've heard that there is a push to have less foreigners present in German universities. Are you aware of any potential changes that could affect international admittance or tuition rates? To be honest, I've not heard about this kind of thing. On the contrary, I've heard that there's more push to bring more potential skilled students and workers to Germany. But yeah, maybe our guest would like to add on that, because I don't think it's true.
Maybe if you may start, Krista.
You go ahead. No, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would also go with Georgi. So the university is very much interested in having international students, and there are more and more international and English-speaking programs also at our university, but I think at universities around Germany. And therefore, at least our university has a strong interest in becoming more international.
Great.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, so same for our university. All the companies in the region are struggling to get enough qualified people. And right now in the state of Baden-Württemberg, there is still a small tuition, but we hope that in the future that the politics will bring that also this tuition fee will go away, which will make it easier for foreign students.
Okay. Florian, would you like to add something to that, or?
Same with us. In Bavaria, some universities started taking tuition fees again. For example, TUM, a very popular one, but we don't. When I started working there, we had 2 programs. Now it's 9 international programs. So we really put a lot of effort into getting international students come to us. Yes.
So yeah, great. So as you can see, that's not true. And even more, I would like to say that just to add to this context, from the 1st of March this year, several weeks ago already, even there was increased, for example, the opportunities for international students who would like to come to work also part-time more. For example, if you before that you could work 240 days, now it's 280 days or 140 days full-time. Even if you come as a prospective student, you can still work with like student applicant visa. Now it's opportunity to work for you. Before it was not allowed. So everything is eased more. So everything is going in the good direction. I would say, not like it was described in the comment. So yeah, all good. Okay, Professor Stetter, now question for you. How competitive is the admissions of RVU in the takeoff bachelor's program for international students? And therefore, when the application deadline, should I apply to be on the safe side? My question is basically stemming from what I've been suggested by my seniors, that the earlier I apply, the better it is.
Yeah, so here I don't think it's competitive. It's right now for also the first time that we start this program, and as far as I know, there are still a lot of places open. So, but it's true, it's always good to apply early. So I wouldn't just wait and do it without stress as soon as possible. But right now, there's a good opportunity to get into this program.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Professor. Florian, question for you. Hi, Florian. What is exactly the VPD? It is not the usual UniAssist procedure?
It is a usual unisys procedure. Yes, I'm sorry if I got it mistaken. It's just the usual review you get when you send your school diploma to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. And Krista, there was a question also for you. So it was, maybe I also confused you, dear attendees, a little bit, but the question was whether Technische Universität applies also, falls into the classical university that I described. This was the one. And the second one also, what would you say might potentially be the benefit for students as you are part of T9 of the excellency of this cluster, what might be from your side also the potential benefits for students or graduates of your university?
Yes, right. Well, number one, yes, Technische Universität is a classical university as you described. So yes, it's just Technische Universität as traditionally it has more those technical courses. So for example, mechanical engineering has a very long tradition here. The TU9 just stands for the leading technical universities. I believe as a student, you can't automatically tell. It doesn't give you an advantage, except that Braunschweig is one of the universities, the technical universities that people know. However, these universities are connected, and they are with regards to research, for example. And they get into contact and check how other people are doing things. But as a student, it might not make a huge difference. Maybe it's more in terms of research, which again is also interesting to students if they want to do an internship here or their PhD and things like that. So probably more later on than now.
Yeah, great. So good to know. Thanks. General question again. Hello, in case the applicant currently resides within the EU without citizenship and high school certificate is from Tajikistan, which application deadline is applicable? Is EU mobility in force in this case? Thank you. So whoever would like to address this question, please go ahead.
But I think it was specifically for Braunschweig, because I think there's a different application guideline for EU date, but for us, it's just the same date.
Yeah. Okay. And I think for Rosenheim would also maybe to answer, because it's UniAssist question maybe also related. So maybe you two could address this question. Krista, you start and then.
Okay. To be honest, I would have to check, because I do not check the applications. I don't do all the formalities. As far as I know, it basically depends on whether you need a visa or not. So if you need a visa, then it should be the 15th of July, because it just takes longer, and that's why it has an earlier deadline than the EU citizens. So if you would like to get in touch, just send me an email. I can forward it to our international house, the incoming office, and they can say yes or no. But without having seen the documents and knowing the exact case, I don't want to say yes or no without haven't had a look at the documents. So, but in general, if you need a visa, then the earlier deadline applies.
Okay. Now Florian lost his connection, unfortunately, but hopefully we'll be back. Let's continue with the questions, a bit more open, still are open. So I think this is more related to Professor Stetter. Currently studying robotics and mechatronics engineering in Malaysia. My question to Professor Ralph is, given in the context of Industry 4.0, is it a more wise decision to pursue a mechatronics engineering instead of mechanical engineering in Germany? Yes. Professor, what would you say?
Okay, I mean, it's not a very easy question, because as we offer both possibilities, but if you're already studying robotics, I think also the mechatronics course would be the one to go, because it's closer to this. It's a personal decision that you have to take for yourself, but reading from this background, I would rather focus on mechatronics.
Great, thank you very much. Very clear answer. Some German universities provide Bachelor of Science instead of Bachelor of Engineering in different engineering programs. And I'm wondering if an engineering student falls into a disadvantage by graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree instead of a Bachelor of Engineering degree. And let's say the plan is to get into professional field straight away, anywhere in the world, instead of pursuing further studies. I want to know what the respective professors think about that, guests and professors think about that. So maybe Professor, you would like to continue, and then I would like maybe to ask Krista if you would like to share your opinion also on that.
Okay, yeah, so I will try to start, because I would say the difference is not large in Germany. In Germany, there is no specific things which are connected with either the Bachelor of Engineering or the Bachelor of Science. It's sometimes that the universities orient themselves internationally, and in some countries, for example, the UK, I think the Bachelor of Science would be more valued than the Bachelor of Engineering. But in Germany, it's nearly the same. So from my opinion, I would say it doesn't matter much.
Okay, great. And Krista, do you have the same? Do you agree, or?
Yeah,
agree?
I
Okay.
couldn't really tell for Germany, but for the Technische University, you would always have the Bachelor of Science.
Okay, great. Krista, let me stay with you. There was a question I think for you. Although if I complete B1 or B2 in German language, I find myself more comfortable studying an English taught program in bachelor's. But my concern is, will I be able to get a job after studying in English taught program? Kindly help me to answer this query. Yeah, I mean, fair question.
Yeah, right. So of course that depends where you later get a job. If you're in an international company where everyone speaks English, then you're totally fine. If you're in a smaller place where there's also lots of German and English, I should say, going on, then of course you probably would be better off also knowing German. Just let me focus, or let me say once again, that's why we have a bilingual program, because it's always good to know the language of the country and be able to communicate. And I think you need both languages. If you work in Germany, but if you're in the really big companies that basically speak English anyways, then maybe it doesn't matter. Other than that, I would always say both languages is very, very helpful. Yes, and that's why we have a bilingual program.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. And Florian, welcome back.
Hi.
So maybe we have a couple of minutes, and let us maybe clear the board here. Yeah, I think this is the question was already addressed, Sagar, regarding the English taught. I think it generally also addresses the whole situation in Germany. I mean, English is very good. Knowing German at the same time is much, much better, of course, but also it all depends on the location, right? Thanks for your answers so far. What is your university's approach to COVID safety? How is the atmosphere of mask wearing and general COVID safety in the surrounding area? Yeah, I think it's not anymore a topic, at least for now, if I'm not mistaken, everywhere around Germany. I have not seen masks really, but yeah, I think there's no regulations in this regard, right? Masks, etc. Florian, maybe you could say from your side.
No, we don't have any proper regulations at the moment.
Okay, great. And yeah, Professor Krista, also the same with you, right? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, at least in this, now we are relaxed more or less a little bit. For the certified copy or original of the university entrance qualification at the takeoff semester in RVU, I just have to send my official high school certificates and first year university transcript directly to the online portal, right? Context, I'm an international student.
Okay, so here, obviously you have to go to this, like the online portal, but the main documents are also still required in paper form. So but it will be clear in the process, but there are some things that you need to have to send by regular post, regular mail.
Good to know. Krista and Florian, one more question for you, and then we can call it a day. There were several questions actually regarding this Studienkolleg, that potentially the high school diplomas might not be recognized, and then they have to go through this Studienkolleg. So one of the question was, where is the closest preparatory course for your prospective universities. And which course do you require to complete, like Studienkolleg course M or A? And what would you generally suggest in terms of this Studienkolleg to students? That would be also generally. What are the key points? Florian, maybe start with you.
The closest Studienkolleg to Rosenheim would be in Coburg, but it's not really close. Generally, I'm not a big fan of the Studienkolleg. I would skip the Studienkolleg and see if you can study at your home country for a whole year at a university and have that recognized as your higher education's entry qualification, and skip the Studienkolleg in Germany.
Very good advice. Thank you, Florian. Krista, what would you say?
Yeah, our Studienkolleg is in Hanover, and you apply at our university. So you apply in Braunschweig, and then they refer you to Hanover, and then there you take the entrance exam, and then they choose you to be part of the Studienkolleg. But again, as Florian mentioned, you can also fulfill the requirements at home and then start university directly. So that depends on your situation and what you're interested in. About the course, let me just double check. So I think you mean whether it's like TM or whatever they are called.
Exactly.
So for mechanical engineering, it is the, I think the T course, because it's for technical and scientific degree programs. So for the sustainable engineering, it should be that one. But again, I think you can check with our international house and they will advise you how to proceed.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Same for us, also T course. I forgot. Yeah.
Okay, great. And Krista, whenever you have time, and if you can, please also share your email in the chat, because one student specifically asked you if it's possible to share your email in the chat. So please.
Okay, I will do that. It's also in the presentation, but I will type it in.
Thank you very much. And yes, so thank you very much, dear guests. That was all. We cleared the board. Thank you for staying with us. And thanks for answering the question in the chat, also live, and for your presentation and for all the detailed answers to the questions. First of all, and to the attendees also, thanks a lot for being with us, for your questions, and for your interest in these courses. So hopefully you'll be able to get into one of the courses. And yeah, whenever you have more questions, of course, you can see that they're very helpful and they're happy to address your questions. You know the email contact details also, and you can get in touch with our guests, or whenever you have general questions regarding, like, for example, it was mentioned visa, Studienkolleg, or Uniassist. These are also more questions on a general scale. So you can also get in touch with us and read our articles. By the way, we cover lots of this information, general information that you asked for, and also use our study finder, because there were some questions regarding some particular courses. When you go to study finder, there are a lot of filters, and you can yourself already choose accordingly what are the filters that you require the most, and then get the possibilities, and you can find out the possibilities based on your interests and requirements. So that was all for today. Thank you very much, and I hopefully we'll see each other on our future webinars. So take care and bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye to everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.